discussion on content in commerce, way forward in digital marketing. We have with us Ms. Garima Sharma, Chief Content and Product Officer, Spiral Content Solutions, the moderator for the session. Now, let me introduce you with panelists. Mr. Kaushal Dugarr, Founder and Chief Experience Officer, Teabox. Mr. Narayan, Chief Marketing Officer, paisabazaar.com. Ms. Prachi Mohapatra, Chief Marketing Officer, Future Group India. Welcome to all of you. I would request all the delegates to keep posting their questions in the chat box, and the panel will address a selected few at the end of this session. Over to you, Ms. Garima, now.
Thank you. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the discussion panel on content in commerce, the way forward in digital marketing. Over the next 40 minutes or so, we will be discussing content and e-commerce and how this is the next big opportunity in front of us right now. We know that content and commerce are intrinsically joined, especially in the digital world where a customer can go from unawareness to purchase in a matter of few clicks. And over the last few years, content has emerged as an important means of not only attracting new customers, but also generating brand equity, nudging conversions, and when done right, even creating the critical word of mouth. But as a person who spent about 15 years looking closely at the content marketing space, I believe the challenges and opportunities that lie in front of marketing leaders today make for a very interesting conversation. And to discuss these challenges and opportunities on the panel we have today, a wide mix of digital first and traditional brands with industries ranging from BFSI to FMCG to retail. We have Prachi with us, who's the CMO at Fashion at Big Bazaar. And her number one challenge today is to keep a watchful eye on brand affinity along with the traffic. We have Kausshal, who's the founder of Teabox. And the number one challenge he's working on today is how to meet the ever-growing demand that he's getting. And we have Sai, who's the CMO of Paisabazaar. And other than abundance of content, his number one challenge is to build more free traffic as they've cut down on the spends. Thank you so much for joining us for this panel discussion. And Prachi, I'd like to start with you. How is content helping you address your number one challenge of brand affinity and the traffic?
Well, Garima, I'd like to take this from two perspectives. As in, what is the content driving? See, it can be a marketing destination or a sales destination, depending on what is it that I'm trying to achieve. I think we have worked together on content, and we know that it has led us to beautiful marketing destinations, and it has sometimes been answerable for sales ROI as well. So at this point of time, when I'm looking at such a dynamic situation as we are in today, I think the basis of actually content has been two-pronged. It cannot stay either or anymore. For us to be able to figure out that in such a space wherein customers are trading categories / products fast for brands, how I become relevant, I stay relevant as a brand. I make people definitely come back to me time and again. And B, of course, as I think one of the challenges that Sai has also put out is to be able to divert free traffic back. How we have operated at these times have definitely led us to a business model being changed. We are primarily a brick and mortar brand, and we have always been. Sorry, I think I lost you for a moment there.
Yeah.
I think we have been very active on the brick and mortar space. However, for us to be able to drive the traffic to a completely online space, that too in a matter of 10 to 14 days, had been a massive challenge for us. That again, the second point for us was to be able to pull this customer towards us and to be able to finally make a complete funnel achievement on that. So this was a challenge for us, definitely. And this is something that we have been actively and successfully working on at this point of time.
Okay. Sai, the same question for you. How is content helping you get the free traffic?
So currently, this time where free. As I mentioned, the challenge is to get the free traffic back. And somewhere, what we strongly believe that when we increase our free traffic, it is directly correlated to commerce, which is the eventual ROI that we get. So since the beginning, we've been focused on building. We usually follow a 60-40 rule, which is 60% of our traffic should be from free traffic, and 40% is paid. But right now, the mix is pretty much 80. I would say 85-15. So 85% of the traffic is free traffic, and 15% is paid, because digital paid marketing spend is slightly cut down. And I think it's I would say it's been a great it's been a boom for us, mainly because what we have done largely is we've realigned all the team towards clearly focusing on building our organic traffic, and at least especially for the lending part of our business, which is Paisabazaar. What we've seen is because of the supply side not being very active, we are working on building on the demand side. While because the inquiries that are coming in, people are searching for loans. People are searching for how to get, say, a business loan or a credit card. So we're ensuring that as a team we kind of work really hard with the in-house team to build direct all these traffic, all these inquiries to our portal, and provide them very easy solutions, easy answers to their queries with the help of content. So that's where the key focus is. The challenge and the focus is for the marketing team. So that once tomorrow, when the supply side opens up, we know that we want to push that needle of 60% free traffic to and consistently to keep it around 70 to 80%. So it's actually that will be our endeavor going forward.
Okay. And Kaushal, you have the best challenge, the good problem of all. You have a ever-growing demand during the quarantine and lockdown. How is content helping you tackle that challenge?
So, look, Garima, when we went into the lockdown, no one knew what was going to happen. But we knew very quickly in the first few weeks that the category we are in, especially tea category, there's going to be a huge surge in demand, because naturally people are looking for immunity. People are looking for something which, in some ways, affects their overall health positively. We were, I would say, very underprepared for the expected surge in demand, and our entire operations are located in Siliguri, West Bengal. So West Bengal has been another challenge to work with. We decided very early that content will create or would probably play two roles. One is awareness building, and secondly is creating that trust, because you are taking a product inside your body, so to speak. So the trust with the brand has to be very strong. Thankfully, on the awareness part, we have to thank Ministry of Ayush. They have done a great job, in terms of promoting ashwagandha, promoting green tea, promoting tulsi. So we realized that we shouldn't be spending time there. The entire focus for us has to be building the trust with the consumers, given that the demand is going to be created. And the way we went about creating that trust is quickly making sure our products, our certifications are available on the products at all the platforms. But very, very importantly, doing what we call, a lot of Instagram, Facebook Live, where we put our tea partners, our growers directly in conversation with the audience we work with or the customers we work with, so that they also get a sense of where their products are coming from, what are we doing, and give them a very, I would say, close update in terms of what are the things we are doing internally to ensure that we are taking as much as precautions as required. So I would say in our case, content was, we predominantly worked, or rather looked at contents to kind of ensure that the trust factor is continuously being built between us and the potential consumers.
All right. Prachi, coming back to you, you spoke about how, within a matter of 10 to 14 days, you had to go from, driving footfalls to driving online traffic. And some of this would continue. Do you think that content as usual would be able to take care of this? Or are you thinking more interactive content? For example, there is Sephora's virtual artist. You have, the whole VR app space that a lot of people in the fashion industry are talking about. Are some of those initiatives going to help you along the way?
So let's put it two ways, Garima. I think there has been always a propensity of using AR and VR in fashion and beauty industry. Sephora is one of the most advanced brands, I would say, and I have seen this. I've been interacting with this brand in the past 15 years, 10, 15 years of my life, and I know for sure it's one of the most advanced brand to be having to be trying this. What this entire situation, I don't want to put unprecedented words like unprecedented anymore. What this entire situation has done is to actually push anyone, all of us, in fact, whatever digital maturity space we were in, professionally or personally, we've all advanced further. And that's going to stay true. This is my favorite line to put out before marketeers, all of us are consumers. The way we want our customers to interact with our brands, we want the brands we are interacting with to interact with us. So yes, an AR and VR in the beauty and the fashion industry is here to stay for long. And why go further? I think one of our primary player in the industry has been the bestseller group, which is Vero Moran only, and they have been launching something in the past 1.5 months. It's outstanding, wherein you can actually try the garments, and it's not a 2D trial VR method. It's an outstanding tool which will help you actually see the fall of the garment on your body, and it's as simple as actually just putting in your stats. So these are here to stay. These are definitely, and if a person like me who has been in the fashion and beauty industry for the past 15 years of her life is getting impressed, I think consumers will definitely get overwhelmed by what we are putting out there. And it's here for us to stay and have, but as a brick and mortar player, I can just say that have we not seen footfall bounce back to the stores once partial lockdowns have opened up? Yes, it has. We see definitely growing sale day by day in the offline space. However, some behavioral changes will definitely be around for a longer period of time, and that will definitely change the industry mix for times to come.
All right. Uh, Sai, coming to you, I mean, you said that 60% of you already get free traffic, which is enviable, and taking it up to 80% is, any marketer's dream. And honestly, whenever I search for anything related to lending, Paisa Bazaar is right up there as one of the first few search trends. You do content marketing at scale so well. For a brand like you, is it down to science part of it? You know exactly what you want, you have the process set in, and you go after it and get it.
Yeah. So, actually, I think what we focus on is as I mentioned earlier, we always have been very, very focused on building free traffic. The reason is the conversion rates of the free traffic is much higher than any paid acquisition spends that a brand does. Be it direct traffic, people searching Paisa Bazaar directly, using the app, or any organic search. So the eventual conversions are much higher than any paid source. I would say the conversion rates are around 1.5x of any paid source. So what, and therefore we've been focused on building the brand. So when you build the brand, your direct traffic increases, and also when you focus on SEO, which is organic, your organic traffic increases. So what we call free traffic is a mix of direct and organic, and a mobile app, which is again a mix of direct and organic. That's a single-minded focus. So as you rightly said, direct is largely also depends on how well we are building the brand, and I'll come to that. But before that, organic is largely very scientific. We know what are the search volumes of the core keywords that we have, and what are the search volumes of the related keyword that we have. And then there is a large team which kind of focuses on building content for these keywords. Like, for example, if you search, we are very big on free credit score. And if you search for civil or free credit score, or how do I improve my score, you will see multiple contents on that. Not just written content, but also video content. So we'll do a lot of work on social so that we get the right social signals. So it's a very scientific way of and it's very and it's linked to business. Like, you know that how much inquiries does a business team require from an organic source, and also at what rate the organic traffic convert. So it's all linked to business, and the content team and the SEO team has that target in mind every month. So, and even on the content pages, we say that how do we, without disturbing the consumer who's there to read the content, how can we kind of get more inquiries? Where all can we smartly put banners? So to increase that, divert the traffic to business. So there's a very scientific way to approach it. As you rightly said, we know the targets, we know how we want to achieve it, and how much we want to grow it.
Sorry, but I just wanted to, ask you, how much time does it take? Because, for a lot of the brands would be doing this for the first time, now. The idea is that, I'd put like 10 blogs together, and why am I not coming up on search results? So how long did it take for you to do this?
Look, organic traffic, I would say that, it's been, so this past 6 years, we've been building traffic for Paisabazaar. I clearly remember that, once in one of the meetings where we were sitting, I and my digital head were sitting, and we were saying that we were well behind our competition. We were at ground zero, and competition was already at around 14-15 million. This was easily 4-5 years back. But organic traffic will not build. It will not build in even 2 months, not even in 3 months. It takes consistent effort of years, and it is a consumer. So what? In fact, a founder kind of really nicely puts it that if you put out good content, then you will automatically rank there. So it is a consistent effort. Putting one blog out there, expecting your organic traffic to increase, will not happen at all. So it is a consistent effort, and if you link it to business over a period of time, it will help. Otherwise, what happens is usually you do experiments, you do a side content deal with someone and a blogger outreach for a mini campaign, and then expect results, and then you don't do it, follow it up with more campaigns, then it doesn't make sense at all. It is a consistent effort over a period of time. It's like building a brand. It's like building direct traffic. If you build direct traffic, you have to build it over a period of time. Direct traffic is equal to building your brand. It's as simple as that. So you do it over a period of time. You don't do it 1 month or one campaign. So it's an effort, and there is no magic wand to increase.
Great. Kaushal, coming to you, being a digital first brand, and I'll just link, an audience question to my question. Being a digital first brand, and maybe the only fully digital tea brand, how did you approach content while developing your brand? And I want to link the audience question, which is, how can content convince consumers to try new products, especially when there is no retail presence? Because I'm sure you'd have solved this problem while building your own company.
So when we started, pretty much like Sai, at that point of time, playing very strongly on the SEO part. I would say in some ways luck played a big part. Our earlier brand used to be called Darjeeling Tea Express, and around that time there's an Oscar-winning movie called Darjeeling Limited, which had just come out. So very smartly, we kind of made sure that we are almost trending everywhere where these guys are searching for those products. And that gave us an initial bump to get us maybe to level 2. But post that, we realized again, brand building would be essential to a sustained continued growth. It's not just going to be content, because in our case, it's a product led brand. And when you are, and our primary customers have been, and still now it's predominantly international. So if we have to convince consumers outside India to be able to try our products, then the brand awareness has to be very strong. And that's where, like we discussed earlier, for us, free content or content was PR. PR played probably the most important or pivotal role in terms of our growth journey. When I say PR, we have had the good fortune of getting, say, New York Times to literally do a full page on us, CNN International, Discovery, Fortune, Forbes. And that, when you're a brand, when you're covered by, say, publications such as NY Times, suddenly you are no more considered as, frivolous brand. You're pretty much established, your trust is there, because times would have covered you. And that in some ways has really helped us ensuring that and post that we continued all of these efforts. To answer the audience questions in terms of specifically how to get consumers to try the product, I think it's very much the basics. You have to understand what the consumer fear points are. We were the first ones who were trying to sell teas online, and everyone laughed at us when we were doing that many years ago. They said that tea is something you only buy once you taste the product, and there's no way you can taste the product, just by having it, looking at the. Obviously, online doesn't give you the opportunity to taste. But if you understand the buyer psychology, that he's looking for, especially a gold buyer, he's looking for detailed pictures, information, tasting notes, price points, certifications. As long as you can solve that, we had precedent. Tea had solved this, coffee had solved it. So why not tea? So in that sense, we were able to solve it. And thankfully, once consumer tried a product, it's all about the quality of the product, the brand experience, which ensures repeats coming back. We, like Sai, have close to about 70-75% repeat. That word of mouth, thankfully, works very well in our favor.
Okay. You spoke about PR, and I like to refer to PR as the original influencers. When we didn't have micro influencers and macro influencers. Um, but influencers are, a big part of earned as well as paid strategy now, content strategy, and nowhere are they bigger than in the fashion space. Is that, is influencer content as important today as it was? You feel, is it a little diluted, Prachi, with so many paid campaigns that happen around it?
So let's go back and see how a consumer is shopping. As I keep on coming back to it, let's see how a consumer shops today. Um, Research, reviews, and peers. These are the first three spaces in which a consumer will start to look out for a product. And as Kaushal is mentioning already, that this is a space which starts the trigger, or I would say the first reach is this is the upper funnel of the any brand's touch point. This is where the consumer is showing an intent, any kind of intent to come near to the category you are operating in. Um, Peers and reviews are a huge part of this entire space. When you are on the upper funnel, this is where they push you down to the lower part of the funnel, and that's how you actually come from a flirter to an actual intended consumer who can actually turn around and be an advocate for your brand at the end of the day. Let's look at how we are actually driving content. It's not all the time, as you rightly mentioned, it's a part of your free PR, it's a part of your paid strategy. How we are operating and these circumstances have actually furthermore pushed this entire situation in a brand's favor, wherein we have a lot of micro, nano, or the big influencers actually being able to up themselves and say that, hey, we're ready to partner and create content which helps us create a brand which does justice to both the partners. And it should not be only that I am speaking for FBB. It should not come out like that. So a sponsored content does not look like 100% sponsored content now. This is what we have experienced firsthand. There is a lot of empathy. There is a lot of putting your hand up and saying that, okay, this is exactly the real me, and this is how the content is being put out. I'll take a small example of what we are putting out from our beauty segment as well. And this I mentioned because this is what has been actually, and as Sai and Kaushal have been mentioning, SEO is not, or an organic push is not achieved over just like a month or 2 months or even 6 months. It's something which has been attributed to a brand over a period of time. Let's look at what we did as a beauty in the beauty space for us. We definitely were not known as a beauty destination. What we did was, when this market went for a lockdown, what we did was we picked out one or two pain points that the consumer is going through. Garima, most of us would agree that we have been missing our salons like hell. All the women out there, for sure. Our parlor wali didis play a big role in our life, and we have been missing them like crazy. So all we did was pulled out content as simple as ghar mein kya hai, basic stuff hai. So for the first conversation we opened up when beauty were not part of the essentials, were ghar ke nuske, and this was part of our salon talks. The second point, we graduated when essentials opened up and people were still not investing a lot on beauty and skincare. We were finding out brands, we were finding out products which will actually ease people out, saying that, okay, ye already ghar mein hai, what can I do better? The influences that we were working with were actually very relatable influencers, and this is what actually generated a lot of organic traffic for us. And this is just a one-off example. I think, I'm sure marketers like out there would definitely relate to what I'm trying to put out. At this point of time, influencers have been far more empathetic than ever.
Never before. And you touched upon Ghar Ke Nuske and the wide reach of content. But I'd actually like to ask this question to Sai, because regional content, especially in the BFSI space, has always been a bit of a touch and go. Does it really work? Does it not work? And Sai, before I ask you about how well does the regional content work, I'd like to add that to a audience question that we've got, which I think is closely connected, which is that as the content consumption from the small towns is increasing, and especially that too on the mobile, uh, is there merit in creating advertising/content only targeted towards them?
So I just overall our strategy has pretty much been for a HSM audience, which kind of we are now trying to change. Our overall advertising and marketing and content strategy has been towards Hindi-speaking metros. So largely our content would be either in English or in Hindi. But as you rightly said, that the content needs to go beyond. So we've already very recently launched at least one of the product lines, which is a free credit score in 4-5 languages. So it's now available in Marathi, in Kannada, Telugu, and very soon in Tamil. So at least one product line, which is and it's a very mass product. So we recently launched that product in multiple languages, and also the content for that. So and the reason is that content needs to be served locally to consumers as well, and it's super critical going forward. But create and the second part of the question being creating content for people who are consuming in small towns. I just feel that if you can't create specifically for a small town, but you need to create what we are successfully able to do is that create national level campaigns which cuts across our target audience, but at the same time also do regional campaigns, maybe in Tamil or Telugu or any other specific language. So you need to have a balance for that, but I didn't say which. Maybe it's very difficult to do a campaign for a tier 2 audience but you do it. It's better to do a campaign which is national level, but also caters to the entire spectrum of my audience, and then also do a regional level in their language. That kind of content is what we would like.
Okay. Prachi, I'd just like to come back to you for a second because there are multiple questions around fashion and apparel industry. So first question is that, do you motivate your audiences via content marketing to browse and purchase during the COVID times because everyone's staying home? Is it a tough thing to get them to buy more?
So the intention during this time has never been to make customer buy more. The intention during this time has to be the focus is absolutely in what is it that you need and you can buy it from me. That's the voice that we have. That's the basic voice that we want to have. All of us are trying to save money. All of us are cash crunched. We are not a brand which is going out there and pushing, saying that okay, you should buy a formal wear during this time. All we are saying is what you're doing right now is absolutely, most of us are in your tees and shorts. Whether we wear a formal shirt during our web call, we definitely have our shorts on. And if that's the truth, then please come and have a look at what FBB Online has to offer. And we definitely are targeting, driving the traffic to the online space. That's the first way to answer. The second point is, am I putting out content over there which is driving, which is influencing you to buy it? Yes, I am. At this point of time, we are in the middle of Onam in Kerala. If I don't speak up a local language and influence them to buy product, I'll definitely be losing out on local nuances. And as a brand, I definitely don't want to do it. So yes, I'm trying to influence you when you are considering opportunities to buy anything that has to do with the festival. So yes, the content has a two-pronged approach and it is being served as you want.
Okay. Kaushal, this is a question that has come at least 4 times. How do you measure the ROI of content? And I think that's a perpetual question that everybody has whenever there is a panel of this sort. But for you specifically, being a digital first brand, how do you measure the ROI of content? Is it different for different platforms?
So, it's very hard to give a straight answer because everything is linked. A consumer might see and come across our brand, maybe, on our website, but might end up purchasing on Amazon surely out of convenience. And it's hard to track. I don't have the ability to track because Amazon won't give me that data from a cross-platform perspective. However, if you take a macro, you would see that over a period of time, whatever efforts you have put into content, does it create some sort of linear correlation to your growth? I think that's what we look at. And over the years, we definitely have seen much more, very strong positive correlation. Unfortunately, given that we don't just sell on our platform, but so many other platforms, it's not as easy as doing a direct A to A transaction. But at the macro level, it works very well for us.
Sai, getting users back, does content play a role there uh, for you and your category?
No, absolutely. I think users back, once users have come to my site, cross-sell plays a very, very important role for us. And cross-sell, and therefore the customer journey. That's that. So if a customer has come for a lending product, secured, unsecured loan, at some point in time he might be also be ready for a secured loan. That's why content and engagement strategy becomes extremely important in the communication box that every organization has for a customer becomes extremely important. So content is the only way to kind of get a turning user back at the lowest cost possible, which is using your smart content, using your app notifications, using email communications, SMS, WhatsApp. So all this channels and smartly using of content to get the returning consumer back is, and that's the lowest cost, right? You don't have to spend the same amount of money that you got him spend to in the first place. So serving. So it's like map. The best way to do is map the entire journey of the consumer. What creating cohorts internally of what are the set of audiences that you have, and what will be their next set of product propensity modeling. So largely that. So building propensity modeling, and also creating a communication box for them. So returning user is focusing on returning user is to be slightly higher than your acquisition once you are at a certain level.
Okay. I think we have the last 5 minutes to go. So I would, want closing remarks from all of you. If you think we were having this discussion 5 years from today, what do you think would have changed in the space of e-commerce and content marketing? Kaushal, I'd like to start with you.
These days, predict the next month is a challenge. So 5 years is quite a stretch, but I would say that 5 years from where we are today, I think the commerce, at least for us, the entire commerce opportunity would be looking very different. I think at some point of time, again, really playing, looking at the window and or the crystal gaze and see if you can create some kind of sensorial experience, because that plays a very strong, in especially in our category. If commerce could be evolved to that extent, and more specifically, how do we create content around those kind of experiences? Because we look at tea not just as a commoditized product, but more so much as a lifestyle experience, right? It needs to fit very nicely. We don't have AR, VR where you can actually see, what's the color of liquor and all of that. I mean, there's no opportunity for me to create that yet. But at some point of time, I'm sure there'll be interesting opportunities, but very hard to crystal gaze at this point of time.
Sai, what about you?
I'm sure 5 years down the line, if you're doing this panel, one question would appear again, which is how do we measure the ROI?
That will never go away.
I'm pretty sure 5 years ago the same question had appeared. So this question will continue to come up. But my only view is that somewhere, we have made peace with the fact that we have to build preference. And building preference is where, for a brand, is where content plays the significant role, and it is a long-term game. So it's a great balance between building preference for a brand and driving performance. So everything should be seen from ROI. One is a short-term ROI, one is a long-term ROI. And content is a long-term ROI.
Sure. Prachi, 5 years from today.
Part of it. Yeah, the beautiful part of it, I would actually be looking forward to some immersive experience in the fashion and beauty segment from a perspective of a programmatic point of view. I think that would be the next sensorial level of experience, if I may say, for me in this industry.
Do you think rural would have been buying by then? Because that's also one of the questions we've got.
That's for me?
Yeah. Do you think that
rural is already buying massively? Maybe we are not realizing the potential that small towns and rural areas have at this point have in this country. But when you specifically asking whether they would be buying fashion, well, they are way more fashionable than we already can imagine. I think roti kapda और मकान में कपड़ा बहुत major part play करता है. So whatever fashions level they are by themselves huge, highly fashionable, I think.
Great. Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing your experiences.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Garima.
Over to you.
Thank you all. Panelists for an amazing discussion. A special thanks to moderator Ms. Garima for keeping the conversation exciting. Thank you to our partners, Telesign, ShareChat, Blink, Nielsen, and the Friends of Marcon.